Hello, today we'll be looking at solving two-step equations. So here are a few examples on solving two-step equations. All right, so the way that I teach solving two-step equation is to use order of operations. So this is our order of operations. We have PEMDAS, I'm sure you all are familiar with it, and it stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, and addition and subtraction. Notice addition and subtraction are the same color because they go in order from left to right, and multiplication and division are the same color because they go in order from left to right. And the way that you solve equations is you use this order of operations, but you use it in reverse. Okay, so let's take a look at some problems. So here's my first problem. I have 6 equals a divided by 4 plus 2. So a is the variable that I'm looking for. So again, if I have my PEMDAS, first thing I ask myself, am I adding or subtracting anything to my variable a? And notice that I am dividing here by 4, but whenever I have a parentheses like this, a symbol like this, normally I think of it as in parentheses. So the first thing I'm going to do, according to my order of operations, I look for the addition and subtraction first for my variable. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So my 2's cross out. I'm left with 4 is equal to a divided by 4. Again, what's the next thing that I'm doing? I'm dividing by 4, so the opposite of dividing would be to multiply both sides by 4. So my 4 crosses out over there because I want it to, and I get a is equal to 16. Now, it's always a great idea. I'm not going to have time to do that for everyone here, but it's a great idea to always go back and check your work just to make sure that your answers are correct. So let's go back and check. So if I plug in this 16, I have 16 divided by 4 plus 2. So 16 divided by 4 is 4, so I get 4 plus 2, and that does in fact equal 16, so my answer does work out. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so we have 9x minus 7 equals negative 7. So again, with my PEMDAS, I'm asking myself in relation to my variable x that I'm solving for, am I adding or subtracting anything to my variable? Well, I'm adding this 7, so I'm subtracting 7. So the opposite of subtraction would be to add it. So I'm going to add it to both sides. So whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other because I'm balancing my equation. So of course, this crosses out. That's what I want to happen, right? And I bring down my 9x. I always bring it down. Equals negative 7 plus 7 is 0, right? So the next thing, what am I doing to my variable? I'm multiplying by 9. So the opposite of multiplication is dividing. I already know what I'm going to get though, right? So my 9's crossed out over here, and I'm left with x is equal to 0. Again, we can plug this back in just to make sure that we're correct. And I get 9 times 0 minus 7 equals negative 7. So 9 times 0 is 0. So I get negative 7 equals negative 7. So it is in fact my solution. It works out. All right, the next one. Remember, when I have a division symbol that looks like this is really in parentheses, right? So parentheses is at the very end, right? It's the last thing that I'm looking for. So I don't have any addition or subtraction. I do, but it's within my parentheses, so I have to wait for that. The next thing that I have is division. So I am dividing by 6. So the opposite of dividing by 6 is to multiply by 6. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 6, whatever. And I know this is going to cross out because I want it to cross out. That's why I'm doing the opposite. So I get 6 times negative 1, which is negative 6. And it equals 5 plus x. So now I can go back and I can subtract that 5 because it is a positive 5 and I want to get rid of it. I want to balance out my equation. So whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. All right, so here's my equation, and I have negative 6 minus 5, and I get negative 11 equals, and I bring down my x. So x equals negative 11. I can plug that back in to check it out, and I am sure that it works out. The next one, again, my parentheses I have here, so I know that this is the last thing that I'm going to do. So the first thing, I'm multiplying everything by negative 12, so I'm going to try to divide by negative 12. So 144 divided by negative 12 gives me negative 12. So I get negative 12 equals x plus 5. Okay, the next thing according to order of operations, or the only thing that I have left, is this plus 5. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So my 5's cross out. Negative 12 plus negative 5 gives me negative 17 equals x. And I can plug that back in to check to see if it works. Please feel free to do so. All right, the next one. Again, parentheses will be the last thing according to order of operations. So I have multiply by 7, so I'm going to divide both sides by 7 first. And I get 12. So I get 9, just bringing everything down, plus 7, plus k, excuse me, is equal to 12. So the only thing left, I have a positive 9 here, so I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. Crosses out, bring down my k, equals 12 minus 9 is 3. So k equals 3. The next one. Oh, is that my last one? Well, I hope that these were enough examples for you, and I hope that this helps.